Go.
Love it. Bunch of rock stars. Once again, hey, you guys. Good morning, every single one of you guys. I'm excited to touch base with you guys. And obviously, this is part two to talking with you guys, a follow-up to what we talked about prior and previous. So I definitely want to kind of keep this one a little bit more interactive if possible, but I understand some of you are at work and sneaking away to be on this call, so we appreciate that. But I do want to, first of all, we're going to be kind of following up with some things we talked about before. I'm anxious to hear what kind of resonated, what things you implemented on the last level, what you're doing that's different, because those are big keys. I mean, the two big things is behavior and action, you know, on implementing certain things to really make a difference. And then we're also going to touch on some events coming up and what we need to do to prepare for those. I have a few insights as well from a message Jeff Hill shared a little bit ago that I wanted to kind of relay that to you guys as well on some motivational tips and some key action items to kind of look forward to. So that's kind of how we'll start. So we'll just kind of open the call line with you first. From the last call till this time, obviously this is part two of our call. What are some things that really resonated with you guys? And what are some things you're like, okay, I remember that, you know, this is what I did. It was a total game changer for me. Or I implemented this and it totally didn't work. It crashed and burned. Let's talk about it. I'm all about being real here. And one thing I love about this group is I know your tenacity. Every single one of you guys want this bad. You're very aggressive people. I know the team you're on. I mean, you got Julie Boris's influence. You got Sandra's influence, Diane's influence. I mean, you guys want this bad. And I know how bad you want it. And so we want to make sure we don't make any shortcuts, but where's that pathway of success that gets us there quicker, faster, and now, you know, and that's what we want. This group wants it. I can just tell. So definitely let's do that. So let's start with that. Obviously I see Diane, Sandra, and Amy, and Katie, Susan,
and Renee.
Renee. I don't see you guys. So what, so who would like to start? Who's kind of has their notes?
I'll go first.
Perfect. Diane, go for it.
All right. So from our last phone call, I wrote down my ghost. My goal was 2-star diamond by September 26th, so this end of next quarter. The objective was to recruit and develop new coaches. Strategy was to post more on Facebook and invite more, increase that. The tactic was to use Facebook ads as lead magnets and also really use that automated system again to be time and efficient. I got my accountability partners in the industry and Beachbody is Andrea. My husband and girls are keeping me accountable. And then I also recently reached out to a close friend who's another entrepreneur with a different business. So I kind of thought she's also goal-oriented so that we could be accountable. I was away last week, so I haven't been that good about doing my daily activity, but I know what I'm going to be reporting in to Andrea, those figures that I can control, those numbers. I also did do, and I can't remember when this call was and when I actually did these Facebook ads, but I was able to increase influence because I kind of feel like I went through my warm market and I need to meet new people. So I did more likes, created a freemium and in the process of kind of distributing that, and that's getting some stuff too. But I'm still struggling with my own why. I thought I found it, and last night I was up all night kind of rethinking it. Is that really what it is? And I know it all starts with why. So that's why I think I've struggled so much to try to move this forward.
So with that struggle and with what you've kind of you just gave kind of an outlook on what you experienced. What was kind of the outcome that you thought about for that? Did you have an outcome or a result or a resolve that you kind of thought of?
Of what I've been doing?
No, everything you said was awesome. At that last part you just said about your why, you said, I think I'm kind of struggling with, and then you shared a little bit about your why.
I almost feel like, I don't know if I could reach more people with a different why, or if I almost feel like my current why may be too limiting because also I'm evolving and changing. So I feel like I'm not going to be in the trenches with them in 3 years from now. So I feel like this other why I kind of it's more of continued on in my life, I guess, instead of just that short little phase.
Explain the one now is very Sure, and it makes sense to when you first moved. Explain that to him so he knows about it, or everybody on the call.
So my initial why is I moved in 5 years. So I was trying to reach out to uprooted women that moved because of their husband's career, if it was corporate, if they were doctors, if they were military. So that was my very specific target market niche. I knew they were congregating on Facebook and social media. I knew I could reach out to them. But I've been in this new town 3 years. I don't plan on moving again. So now I'm kind of like, are they still going to be able to relate to me? Am I still going to be able to provide them with guidance and stuff? Or should I kind of move it on and just kind of change to just inspiring people to take a chance and do those things that I was Team Triumphant, and this is I don't want to take up all the time, but I'm getting there. So I read Start With Why, Simon Sinek. I'm excited to hear him at Summit. So
excellent. Yeah, Simon's fantastic. Diane, no, I actually love it. And the first initial thought I think about, I was listening to some personal development on my way to work, and the topic that I was listening to, he was talking about change and allowing change to happen, because it's hard to change. I mean, every one of us, personality wise, even if we're open to it, like I'm open right now to wanting to change and be a better person, but I still put up roadblocks in preventing certain areas because it's vulnerability, but we always got to allow that to happen. But I do. And then he used examples in the crowd of spouses saying, who's been trying to change their spouse? And one person said, hey, we're engaged, I'm still trying to change them. And this older couple, he said, I'm trying to change these guys, they've been together for 35 years. And it was laughing because he's like, you can't change people unless people are receptive to change. But with your why, I love the niche that you've been doing, Diane. And do you want to know something? You can always have that niche because that experience is always in your background. Okay. So think about that. It's like somebody likes to approach women that are pregnant or having babies or that motherhood type phase of life, and say you haven't had a kid for 3 years, you can still relate and you still understand. So you can still hit that niche market.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. I would keep that, because you always have that experience of always, transplanting, moving, shifting. Even if you've been in your location for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, you can go, oh my gosh, let me tell you the phase of life I went through when I had to move a lot. Boom, you're connecting. But now you can open that up and say, okay, women that are established in a certain community, and then you can really open that envelope now and hit a bigger why. Awesome.
Okay, thank you.
Diane, I'm excited. Thank you for the update. I'm excited about your 2-star by September. I love your ghost because that increases the probability of that. Looking forward to it for you, Diane. Thank you. Much, much. All right. Miss Amy, how about you?
Well, I feel like the place that I really need to improve is recruiting and developing new coaches. I feel like I'm doing fine getting people in my challenge groups and continuing with them. I have a like page and use Facebook ads and all of that, but I don't feel like my paycheck is reflective of what I've been doing, how much work I've been putting in. And I think it's because I don't know if I'm not approaching people correctly or whatnot, but that's really where I need to focus, because I want to be 2-star by November. And that's a lofty goal at this point.
Okay. No, I appreciate the candidness and the honesty there. So now just kind of going back to, what do you feel like evaluating your own business? What do you feel, you mentioned recruiting and developing coaches are areas of improvement you need to do. And you're in 2 stars, your goal by November. Now you're pulling back going, I don't know if I'm going to hit it. So let's kind of evaluate, in your opinion, what do you think is an area that you're like, okay, I got to take the bull by the horns and just approach it, face it, and really execute?
Yeah, I know I need to be more bold. Part of me is not wanting to offend's not the right word, but I feel like you really need to be in a certain spot to say yes to the coaching business. I mean, some people say yes for the discount and all of that, but people who really work the business, they need to be ready to jump on board. And I'm kind of the person that doesn't want to step on people's toes. And so I just need to be more bold and take a leap of faith and trust that that's going to all work out.
Amy, do you feel that you're an introvert, or is it more you're just more sensitive to people?
I'm sensitive. I'm definitely an extrovert, but I'm sensitive to other people's needs, and I don't want to push people away from me because I'm pushing the business.
Okay.
Ditto, all that.
What's that, Sandra?
Ditto, all of that. I'm like listening to her. I'm like, yes. And I hear, oh, it's great for you, Sandra. It's just so you. It's perfect for you. It's like, but you can do it too. But then I get sensitive.
No, right on the money, because I know Sandra's far from an introvert, and Amy, obviously, you just said the same. So you guys are not introverts. You're like ready to do this, but then you pull back because of that sensitivity and not wanting to rub them too raw. I mean, it's all of those elements, and that's reality. I mean, it's easy for us to sit here and say, "Hey, be bold. Tell them what's." It's easy, but then when it really comes down to it, that's where the key core is. How are we doing that? Okay, perfect. Glad you brought that up, and let's touch on that. You know, a little bit later in the call, we'll touch on that.
Okay.
But just bottom line, it really comes down to, in your approach, do you go in 100%? I mean, have you played? What's your background? Have you played any sports or dance or anything where you committed yourself seriously to a team of some sort?
Yes, I played soccer all my life through college.
Okay, great. And I bring that up for an example. Go back to those days on how you felt. Okay, you prepared yourself for a game, right? And when you went out there, if you hesitated or dabbled or even thought twice before going to kick that ball, what happened?
Didn't do very well.
Exactly. Somebody will come swipe it from you. You'll miss your act, that one moment to kick that ball and hit the goal or get it past that opponent to get it to your team player. You miss that moment. Okay, you think about that in all walks of our business, even with coaching, same exact thing. There's a certain moment you want to magic, it's the sweet spot, and you want to capitalize on that. And when you pull back and hesitate or second guess yourself or question their motive or their intentions or your own, then all of a sudden you just miss that moment. And that's what's happening. So you got to go back to soccer days and say, okay, I got to get that perseverance, that passion, that every day I'm playing and practicing. So when that moment comes, I'm ready. That's why we do personal development. We study, we take the products, we post. So when those moments come of sharing, it's game time. And so for you, relate it to soccer, because that was your element. You played well. You were a great athlete, and you still are. But see those core elements, that's why you take those practices into who you are today, as you have already. But remember those game days and say, okay, it's game day. I'm going to hit this person up with this big opportunity. They say, you don't have to pull back, but remember how we talked about last time on confidence and belief? You believe it and say, hey, you want to know something? I'm doing this opportunity. And they say, no, thanks, not for me. And say, you want to know something? That's okay. You know, and just really have a response back saying, I respect what you're saying, but I'll tell you right now. And then just go off on the benefits and say, you know how to reach me. Let's do this when you're ready.
Okay.
They'll come around. It's never immediate or when you want to, for the most part. Very few of them happen when you want to. But have game day. That's all. An approach for you, Amy, because I know you're great and I know you got this. Perfect. All right, Katie, are you there? Can you pull away?
No, I'm here.
Awesome, Katie. How are you doing?
Good.
Oh, good.
So I would just say that, I'm really new to all of this. And so I'm just trying to really figure out the whole business itself and figure out exactly what my niche would be and where my market is. I kind of do some other stuff on the side as well with like some wellness coaching and, I've partnered with a couple of, with a gym. It's a small gym that's in my town. Awesome. And so we're kind of running together. And so I'm just kind of trying to figure out exactly where I want it to go and how I want it to go. And I'm working on the goal setting right now.
Awesome. Katie, I love it, because the benefit of the wellness coaching and the gym in your town, establishing a reputation and establishing an opportunity for everyone. And never limit your demographic. Obviously, like Diane was saying, you want a niche area that you're really going to focus on, but always broaden that to everyone. If you're in a small town, you want everyone in that town to know what you do, and you want them all to know where they go for health, fitness tips, nutrition, all of the above. And I think you're already knowing that. I think you already know that. So have you put a game plan? I know you said you're setting goals, but do you have a kind of a game plan or a kind of a vision on what you want to accomplish there with that wellness coaching?
Somewhat. I'm kind of like in the process of making that right now. I'm kind of like, I've been going through the last probably month trying to figure out exactly what my plan should be and where do I want to go and by when and what steps I do and what else to overcome. So I've kind of been charting that down. I mean, I really want, I've been working on getting, like, right now I have one coach under me, so I'm working on trying to get the second one. I've got 2 women that I'm working with, and the same thing, like Amy was saying, that I just kind of feel like I don't know how to, like, close that. And so I'm working on that, and I've been talking with Sandra a lot, trying to get some tips and ideas on how to do. So I mean, like, that's my first goal right now, is just to try and get that second coach under me so I can move up. And I feel like this month so far, even though I know it's only a couple days into it, I feel like I've already been doing better, like with the sales and promotions and getting out there and talking to people. I've networked a little bit more already, even though it was a holiday week. So I want to keep up that momentum this month.
Excellent, Katie, and you will. I know you will. One thing to keep in mind too, the beauty of the wellness coaching is obviously your sphere of influence is broadened. You got a lot of people, but keep all of your marketing very broad and relatable to everyone. So when that lady that's never worked out before walks in and feels uncomfortable to come approach a wellness coaching, be warm and comforting and allow them to come in, because you got an opportunity for them, and they don't see it, but you do. Okay. And then also those fitness-driven, savvy people like yourself walk in, they're going to come right up to you and be like, yo, what's up? I do that too. I love it. So those ones you want to gravitate to as well. But the more your marketing, keep it real general.
That's what I told her yesterday, that with the new size program coming up, because she told me, that's not me. I would not do that at all. And some people are that way. So as long as you keep it broad, you know what you have to offer, because for somebody, they would love to dance to exercise.
Yep. And I mean, think about why 21 Day Fix is so popular.
I could see that. I could also see, I could see that. I could also see.
Okay. They can see it too. That's
trying to.
Andrea has to mute her phone or turn off her radio.
No, trying to still turn it back to the light. So.
We hear you, Andrea. You have to mute yourself.
Okay, I'm trying.
All right, perfect. Thanks,
the little mic on the bottom, you can mute my audio.
All right, perfect. Andrew, we're glad you're with us.
Okay, Andrew, I really have to concentrate. Sorry. And I know you want to talk about this, but I can't right now.
All right. Well, the biggest thing, Katie, that I want to just kind of touch point on, once again, that's what Sandra was saying.
I don't know how to do it.
That's kind of hard. Can you mute her, Sandra?
It's all right. I'll leave. It's okay.
No, Andrea, stay with us. We can be
recorded. I'll send it out.
I can't figure it out.
Do it by phone instead of video.
Sandra, do you have controls? Because you can.
I see the audio. Okay, hold on.
I
got it.
Awesome. But Katie, I love what Sandra said about the demographics and leaving it open, because the 21 Day Fix, look, why is that so popular? Think about it. It's low pressure, it's not high intensity, and it doesn't scare people away, but yet it hits the changing of, like, their eating habits is number one for everybody. And then 2, it's got a workout program that's not threatening or scary. And so 21 Day Fix kills it with all walks of life and all demographics. And size, it's all a matter of how you approach it. I look at size, okay, wearing my hat to the side, wearing one leg of sweats up to my calf. Yeah, I like to dress and goof around like that, but is that really me? No, absolutely not. And so when I see that, I'm like, okay, I'm 36 years old. If I was 22, yeah, that'd be awesome, that style, but it's not me now. You see what I'm saying? Uh-huh. But then I put on a new hat going, I can't wait for that, because it's going to be a blast, and it's going to be a workout that people can do having fun, especially just find that relatability with it and allow everyone that approaches you that same approach, and pull back that fear of, I'm not good enough for that, especially at a wellness center and a small town gym. I mean, what percentage of people will walk in being your perfect profile of what you think you're looking for? Probably 1% or 2%. But what about the 98% that walk by you or know you're there? That's who you want to capitalize on, Katie. You want that 98%. And they're going to be the ones that don't think they're going to need you, don't know how they're going to get there, but they're going to be captured by something you radiate in your marketing to get them. So I'm excited, Katie, for you.
Thanks.
Get Susan and Renee.
Renee.
Okay, let me unmute it. I think what spoke to me at the last meeting was like a couple of things. One, I don't have like a deep life. I think for a lot of people, you know, the desire to sit at home with their kids is huge and they want to do that. Well, my kids are going to both be in school full time. And since I'm a teacher, I have a little bit more flexibility in being able to take them to school and pick them up and, you know, take days off to go to a field trip. So I can do that. So that for a lot of people, that why didn't hit it for me. So I think that's my biggest thing. One thing that has pushed me or not pushed me is lack of motivation. So whenever the Success Club came out, you know, the Disney World, that was a huge motivation for me because it involved my family. And I was like, I want to take them there. So I worked my butt off and I went. And the same thing with Cancun. Now, when it comes to like the cruises, those just don't do anything for me or my husband or my family. So I'm kind of like, eh. So I know for me, I need motivation. And then the other big thing was when you talked about fear and what are you afraid of? And I think my biggest fear is the fear of the unknown. You know, as a teacher, I knew what I wanted to do when I grew up, and I went to school and college for years and got my master's, and I've been in the profession for 17 years, and I have all the schooling and backing, so I'm confident in that, you know, and I'm always learning. I don't have that. I know there's tools in the back office, and I've done the, you know, academy and stuff, but I think just having all those years put into my schooling, it frightens me and it scares me a little bit because I don't have as much, obviously, background in nutrition and health and all that. And I know in order to get that, it would be like going back to school, yes, from the comfort of my own home. But when I think about that, I think about time. And when I think about time, I think about that's what I need in order to make it not a hobby, which it totally is for me right now. And that time has to come from somewhere. So is it coming from my sleep? Is it coming from my family time? Is it coming from my full-time job? You know, which then affects, you know, 25 kiddos and their families. So it's just trying to find that balance. So yeah, fear of being known, finding a balance, and needing a motivation.
Awesome. Awesome. Renee, thank you for the update. I have a few things I'm going to share with you for you. Okay. Thank you very much. Excited where you're headed. Susan, how about you?
My biggest fear was like rejection because I'm not at my goal yet. So that's hard for me. Mm-hmm. But I invited.
When you say goal, what kind of goal are you talking about?
Oh, at my weight goal.
Weight goal, got it.
Right. So I'm running a challenge group, 21 day. I have one new person that I don't know, but she's a friend of my sister who's had good success with the program. So, and then 2 people that have, you know, mentioned it to me. So I have new people. So I'm trying to keep the challenge group involved, but I think I've been leaning on having the same people in my challenge groups. So I need to get better at inviting new people like through Facebook so that there's new blood in the challenge group. So I think that those, you know, would have better interaction because I'm getting some interaction, but not full interaction with everyone. And I'm working on personal development. Sandra gave me some books, and I've started the Slight Edge. And I've got my accountability partners for Shakeology working out, so that's going well. So I guess I feel pretty new I'm pretty new and still learning some of the things that I know some of the other gals are pretty good at as far as technology-wise and sharing things. So.
Hey, well, I'll tell you right now, Susan, just the way you approach review and your feedback is awesome. You're learning, you're growing. And I'll tell you right now, you have more influence than you really yet. I'll tell you right now, that's awesome. And that's a beautiful sharing right there because you're in the journey of it. And we all are. It doesn't matter if you look at Sandra and you're like, oh man, she's in her perfect, I want to be like that. No, you want to be who you are and be proud of what you are and post about it and say, hey, I was here and now I'm here and this is where I'm headed. I'm so excited. And then even if you falter, okay, there was a coach who actually we recognized last year on Summit, and she was trying to hit a certain physical transformation goal. Well, she faltered and she posted, so everyone's following her journey, and then she kind of lost it for a little while. And she was like, how do I capture my people? How do I get them to believe in what I'm doing? So she decided to be real. All of a sudden she posted this picture of this huge burger, and it's her face, her eyes over the burger, and she's taking a huge bite in it going, she goes, I may not be perfect, but I'm trying. And I'm trying to hit a goal. And it's this huge picture of her taking this big bite of burger saying, I'm trying, even though she's in the middle of a workout and everything. And everybody resonated. All her people just kept cheering her on, and it remotivated her by just being real. But be proud of what you're accomplishing, where you're at, where you're headed, and really develop that sense of confidence. Because I think, like for me, I would follow you and be proud of you and be inspired by where you're at. So keep it up.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And also, in learning about being techie and everything, that's why we got a team. Keep learning from those that are good at it. And everything. That's why we're a team. Awesome. Andrea, I know you're driving away, so we'll just, if you have an update, you're more than welcome to, or we can just kind of move forward. So.
I'm afraid can you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear.
I'm afraid you're going to be able to hear my whole family too.
Love it. We love your whole family.
We're in the car on the way to the airport.
We are family.
I'm actually in Los Angeles right now.
Nice. LA. Becoming famous.
So we're heading home.
You have a quick update for us, Andrea?
Diane is she's gonna be my accountability partner, and she just gave me the book Go for No. So I'm excited to read that because I think fear of rejection is part of my one of my fears. Just kind of like putting myself out there, because I think to me my self-image is not where I want it to be. So I'm a little like fearful of that. And the techie part too, I'm so not good with that. So I'm just trying to learn from everybody else. And then time, of course. I know everybody probably says time is this huge excuse, but I'm a stay-at-home mom with 3 kids, and so it's hard during the day, like, to get anything done. And then I feel like, I try and use my power hour at night after they go to bed, but sometimes by that time I'm exhausted too. So, I just want to go to bed.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's kind of where I'm at. But, I'm doing challenge groups every month and trying to get new people to be a coach under me. But I feel like I'm still learning as well. So I feel like, it's just kind of like a growing process. But I'm going to Summit, and I'm really excited about that.
Awesome. Andrea, thanks for the update. You drive safe out there. Travel safe. Thank you.
Thanks.
One thing I wanted to share with all you guys, I love hearing from every one of you guys, because it's that accountability that matters. You all shared where you're at, what you're doing. I love how real you all are. You're like, this is where I'm at, and I'm not 100% here, but I'm working on it. Okay. Now I want you all to transition and put on a confidence and a belief hat. Okay. And believe in yourself. Be proud of what you're accomplishing. I have 3 questions I want to throw at you. They're open-ended questions that I want you to reflect on yourself. Okay. The first one is, who do you do coaching for? Okay. Who do you do coaching for? Okay. Is it for you? Is it for your spouse? Is it for your kids? Is it for your other coaches? Who are you doing it for? Number 2, if you could teach on a topic, what would it be? That's number 2. If you could teach on a topic, what would it be? Okay, and the reason I share that with you is you're developing as a person and a leader. You need to develop where are your strengths and where are your weaknesses. And you all have been sharing them on the phone. I could even write them down and tell you what you said. But see, Andrea, Susan, you guys mentioned about technology not being your strength. Well, make it your strength. Start researching about it, saying, okay, I want to learn PicMonkey. I want to post these cool posts. What do I need to learn about it? But educate yourself and then become a master of it. But also, if you could teach a topic, what would it be? Would it be recruiting? Would it be, how to work a wellness center or a gym in town? That's my big thing is find what you want to work on, research it, learn about it, and become an expert at it, and flip that weakness to a strength. Number 2, the third one is what are others looking for? Like, what are people looking for? What is your objective? What are others looking for? Are they looking to join a team? Are they looking to find an avenue to lose weight? Are they looking for a physical or a financial transformation? What are people looking for? Okay, answering those 3 questions will help you understand where you're at, where you're headed, what you're doing, and what kind of market you're marketing to. The message I wanted to kind of share with you from Jeff Hill, real brief, because I know we're getting close on time here.
We have unlimited time. I upgraded.
Yeah. All right, let's kick back. Let's go to breakfast and reconvene in 20. No. the thing is, what I'm going to share with you now is just a little bit of motivation from Jeff Hill on Monday's National Wake Up Call. I hope every one of you guys were able to listen to it. Okay, it was Emily Robidas, who is a 3-time Team Cup champion. Okay, and a lot of people go into Team Cup and they start out in that week 1. They're like, "Oh crap, I'm not going to do very well because of this person, this person, or excuse." But really, what it comes down to is, what are you doing to prepare for that Team Cup to make it the best month ever? Okay. How many of you guys have been a part of a Team Cup before? Okay. So some of you have had success with it and some of you have not. Okay. Bottom line is, overall, the overall company, everyone's businesses do well during Team Cup no matter what. Some are motivated by prizes, others are motivated by competition, others are motivated by that team morale. But some of you join a team and you may be the only one that works and the rest don't. And you're like, gosh, that was the worst month. Don't be like that. Okay. You go into it prepared. Okay. Get your teams together now. The 20th is when you register for your teams. Okay. So plan on that. It's the 20th. Okay. We register for teams and then you have a couple of weeks to prepare. Rally your team together, put an execution or a strategy together and say, what do we want to accomplish? What does everyone want to achieve? What are we going to do as a team to get there? But don't do it the night before. Prepare yourself. And Emily Robidas shares on that National Wake Up Call the steps that she does to prepare her team to really go in, knowing that they're going to win. Okay, so keep that in mind. The other thing is Carl Deichler got on the call as well, kind of challenging everybody to work harder than yesterday. You know, make tomorrow a bigger day than today. And he's really leaning towards everybody really hitting their goals for the month of July prior to Summit. Okay, we all have about a week before Summit here, which is exciting. Can't wait for a little Nashville, a little country chic, right? But I want every one of you guys to say, okay, let's get our monthly goals done by that week. Before that Summit starts, you want them in the bag. Then we have these product launches. You can actually enjoy yourself and be real strategic in launching things and getting your coaches that are not attending kind of fired up. But definitely get your Success Club goals done by Summit. And that's what I want to challenge every one of you guys. Some of you may be at 1, some may be at 0. Some of you guys are at 2 or 3. Some of you may have already hit it. But really, let's do it. Let's do it. It's important to you and it's important for your business. You need to be that example for others. And with that, a couple quick things I want to throw at you is from Jeff Hill talking about creating fast growth. Okay. One thing about your talents and skills is every one of you guys have strengths. You're known for something. Okay. Utilize your skill set. Use it or lose it. When you're starting a business, it takes money to make money, right? As they always say. Personalities and character and strengths are the same way. It takes strengths to make strengths. Okay. So utilize what God's given you as talents and develop them. And make them your best and implement them in all of your marketing of what you are and who you are. Okay. And don't feel insecure about not having enough or feeling inadequate or feeling average or not good enough. Eliminate those because you guys are who you are because of who you are. So invest in yourself. The other one is expect resistance. Okay. Resistance is the con artist to you being successful. Okay. So expect it. Plan on it. Prepare for it. Know somebody's going to say no. You know, you mentioned that you're going to be reading Go for No, and I love it. Great book. And it will help you with that mindset. Expect resistance. It's the con artist to you being successful. So what are you doing to overcome that? Yeah, that's the big one for me. So stretch your limits. The other thing I just kind of want to throw at you guys is gutsy. Be audacious in what you guys are doing. You know, break away from old habits. You know, some things are plateauing you and keeping you from growing. What are you doing to overcome it? Okay. And kind of play that no exception mentality. You know, I know Andrea mentioned she has, you know, family, she's traveling, she's got 3 kids. We get it. And everybody does. But now we got to pull that mentality. I love Andrea's like, I put my kids to bed and right after that, that's when I got my hour, my time to do beach club. Every single one of you are that way. Okay. Continue to make that no exception rule in your head, because that will pay off. And also make bold moves. Don't be shy. Don't shy away and do average or mediocre posts. You know, be bold, be aggressive, do something that makes you uncomfortable. Say, oh, I would post this. Fine, I'll do it. Okay, you want to have those moments. If you're sitting there posting things where you're comfortable, you're going to have comfort results. Okay, remember last time we talked about going from a good coach to a great coach. Okay, there's a big difference in good coaches and great coaches. Every one of you guys are good coaches. How many of you guys are great coaches? I want every one of you to be saying yes to that, because a great coach does the exceptional to be great. And then leveraging your big behaviors as well. Engage in key behaviors that, 80% of your time and 80% of your results come from those key behaviors that help you really move your business. And so find out what those are, what needs to happen to create those results. Leadership. What was that quote? I love it. Leaders create results that in a way inspires trust. Okay, I mentioned that last time on the call, but I want to reiterate that. Leaders create results that inspires trust. So what are you doing to trust and to drive results? Okay, I know every one of you guys want that and you're aspiring for that. So think about it. What are you doing? And make every one of your results. I know you get frustrated about one day or this week, and you get frustrated and anticipating it. Put the long on your head. Okay, some of you mentioned 2-star by September, 2-star by November. Okay, we got long-term goals. You guys want this to be a long-term business. So do what you're doing today to create long-term. Don't try to do short-term results. This business will be a short-term opportunity for you. Okay, so really keep that in mind in what you're doing. So that's kind of a few little nuggets I want to throw at you guys. I'm really excited about what you guys are doing. Keep plugging away and really continue to make a difference. Capitalize on what you do well. Okay, capitalize on that, because you guys are doing it right. I love the Slide Edge book. I love the Go for No book. And implement, make a difference. So once again, thanks for your feedback, you guys. I'm really excited about where you guys are headed and what you're doing. Rocket, and we got a bunch of events coming up. We have Team Cup, we have Super Saturday, and we have Summit. So make sure you guys are inviting every single person you know, everyone, whether you think they're interested or not. Get everybody to these events. Some of you are big believers in events. I am, because the culture of Beachbody is what these people need to feel and see and be a part of, because that's what we are. And it really will resonate. So really, these 3 events. Say you have people watching that don't want to jump on, but they like to follow you during the Team Cup month. Have it be a sneak peek into what we do. How fun is that? Here's some prizes. Here what I get rewarded for doing, and I get paid for it, and I get to work as a team to hit a goal. You kidding me? It's a blast. Avoid the pressure of it, but enjoy the excitement of it. It's a fun event. Summit, really expose Summit with your followers. Anyway, do you guys have any questions? Anything you wanted to ask? Anything you wanted to touch point on? You guys came to this call probably with some thoughts and ideas and things you wanted to really make sure we capitalize on. I want to make sure that we address.
I wanted just to say one quick thing about Summit. Some of you who aren't able to go this year, just so you're aware, every time Summit is going on, right at the end, they sell tickets for the next year's one at the cheapest rate possible. So be on the lookout for us to be sharing and posting so you can get your ticket and be set, 100% set from a year from now, being here and being at the Summit event with all of us. Yep. They had that promotion last year.
Sandra, great. Yep.
Sandra, that's when I got my ticket last year.
Yep, and it was $99.
I bought when you came back from a year ago.
Yep.
And we really never.
I mean, it was $99, and now they're over $250.
Right.
So,
right.
And another thing too is think about you're going by yourself or maybe with 1 or 2 people, and next year make it a goal to have 12 people there or more. And that's the cool part, is becoming a leader and saying, okay, I just bought a ticket and I'm not going alone. I'm bringing a team. And that's really what a good motivation is. You got 12 months to really build.
I went alone my first year. All by myself to Los Angeles.
Jeff, I have a question.
Yes.
Can you expand a little bit more on recruiting and developing new coaches? I know many of us, that's kind of one of our weaknesses, and we're just, any tips you can provide from other coaches' best practices on how to really help us with that?
Mm-hmm. Oh, great question. Well, the big thing is You know,
I mean, I know I feel like the best coaches were customers first. They experienced a challenge group. They got great results. Naturally, they started sharing. So it was a very organic process. Amy was one of them. And then also, I think it's that the type of person that specific coach is. She's a personality. She's self-driven, goal-oriented. So maybe we're just not attracting the right people, or I don't know what it is.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. And I wouldn't say everyone comes from customers. Some have. Some of them come right in and aggressively want to run this business from day one. Okay, and there's a lot of those as well. And they're the ones that you see climb quickly. The customers, once they decide they want this, then they're the ones that start climbing quickly as well. But you're right on who you're attracting. See, right now in your business, it's hard because you kind of want everyone. You're sitting there going, I will take anyone that comes my way.
You just want a body at this point, but that's not like.
Because you want the volume, you want them purchasing, you want them to start, being dripped with the opportunity. That's why with Katie, with her wellness coaching, I said, you want the 98%, not the 2%. You don't want those ones ideally that walk in, you want the 98%. How do you get them? To me, that's what I would go for. But the key, you are correct, Diane, it's who you're attracting. Bottom line, you need numbers, you need bodies. I'm not going to lie. We need volume. You need people under you buying. Okay,
when you told me 1 a week, that kind of hit me. And like those first 2 weeks, I did it. I got 1 each week. And then I think I had 1 or 2 weeks of none. And then I got 1 more recently. And just like pressure of you saying you should be getting 1 a week, Sandra. Yeah, a simple statement from you like that. I'm like, 1 coach a week? Oh my gosh. I try to get 1 a month.
It's on my sticky note on my mirror each morning. One per week.
Good. And that's perfect.
And events like this Super Saturday coming up, getting people to those has to be a priority for me in order to make that 1 a week thing happen. And also getting them into all the sneak peeks, even if it's not from our team. Julie's team is having one. I just send out the message to our whole team on our team page. There's one like almost every week or at least every month from now until like the end of the year. So there's no excuse as to why we can't be getting people at least the information to be in the sneak peek or to a live event to learn something, but we have to invite them to it.
Yeah, Sandra hit it right on the nose, but Diane, there's 2 parts.
You're freezing up.
Freezing up. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. There's action items and there's behavior. Okay. Some people on this call need behavior changes, meaning belief in yourself, removing old habits, really executing the belief in yourself because you're doing it. And that's why you're frustrated, because you just need to tweak a few things about your behavior. You're already reaching out to a ton of people, but there's certain belief elements that you don't believe in yourself. So some people it's that. Others, it's action items. Are you executing? Are you reaching out? Are you being bold and asking? Okay. So those are the 2 elements that I see across the board that people need to work on, and people need to overcome, and people need to execute, and people need to deliver. I'm a big as well. Like Diane, if you really want to make this happen, like Amy Silverman, or some of the top coaches, how did they get there and what did they do? They went bold, they went aggressive, and they went for it. They put 110% in. They put both feet in the water, and they didn't shy away. Okay, you guys know what you need to do. Sandra's sharing tips. There's summits, there's events. There's also sneak peeks. Sneak peeks are a huge, huge avenue for people to succeed. I ask them, how did you get these 3 new coaches this month or this week? Oh, I got them out of my sneak peek group. Okay, most people get them out of the sneak peek. It's that strategy of inviting them there because it's a non-threatening. When you say, hey, I want you to do this, they're like, no. You're like, crap. But if you say, hey, why don't you just come check out what I'm doing at no cost, no pressure, and there's nothing that I'm making you do. Okay, I would totally say yes, because I'm a stubborn person. If you ask me, I will honestly immediately say no. Immediately. That's just how I am. But then if you say, hey, no pressure, no obligation, just check this out. I go, what's the time commitment? And I know you're going to commit me to something afterwards. I'm going to try to foresee what you're going to do to me. But then you say, hey, no pressure, just see what we're doing. I'm curious. I want to know what Diane does. So I will jump on kind of as a wallflower, but I know you're going to pressure me. But then when that magic moment hits, that's when you want to capitalize on me, and you want to jump right on. So that's one element that I would kind of think about.
We as a team kind of retweaked our sneak peek and also our coach basics. Would you be willing just to read through our typed out document quick to see if we're missing something? Because I feel like we're not getting the engagement that we need.
Okay, absolutely. Yes, send them over my way and we'll reevaluate them.
Thank you.
You bet. I do have to, we have a meeting in 10 and everyone's
Sounds
coming
good.
in.
Thank you so much. We'll post
But one thing, Diane, you guys too, one thing I would do too is you mentioned what you want to know about, and I love it. You said, I want to recruit, I want to develop these coaches. What are they doing? What am I not doing? I want to challenge every one of you guys, 2 or 3 top coaches you admire, follow their YouTubes, take those topics. Amy Silverman, what does she do to recruit? Go to everything she's shared publicly, even shoot her a message and see if she responds. Or hit one of her downline coaches and say, can you please share with me what she's offering? I would love to learn. But execute, if you can learn from the best, then you'll become the best. And I'm a big believer in that. And so that's would be my challenge to you. Take the top 10 coaches, see those ones that are highlighted on the champions page or on your team page or upline team coaches. I know Julie Boris, has guests coming from other teams. And if she doesn't, make her say, hey, can you get this guest on one of our team calls? I want to learn from them. There's nothing wrong with cross-pollinating coaches and leadership styles because different ways attract different people. For you, Diane, there may be one coach that just resonates with you and their best practices are exactly what you need, and that's where you need to find, because that's exactly what happens. And then you'll tweak it to you and you're like, holy crap, that was all I needed, and so that's what you want to find. But I like how you're hungry for it. You want it. So go get it because it's available. Most of those coaches will share their best practices because as we all know, we can all share till our faces go blue, but what percentage actually execute what's shared? Okay, a very small percentage. So there's a lot of resources out there, but it's who executes and actually implements them is really, really what makes or break it. That's why they don't mind sharing their best practices all day long because only a few will actually take it 100% into that level. Anyway.
Thanks so much, Jeff. We'll be in touch.
Thanks, guys. You guys are wonderful.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Good luck this week. See you guys at Summit.
Thanks.
All right. Bye-bye.